Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
All right, in this video, I'm going to share with you my thoughts about people of the citizens of UAE, Emirati. Okay, and the reason I want to give you my thoughts is because after I posted the video about Emiratization, the groups that I have, WhatsApp groups, some of them send me private messages like, "Sir, are Emirati people good people? Are they bad people?" And then there were one or two private comments. Obviously, they don't want to put it public. Yeah, they are like this and they are like that, and then obviously below the video, I got some other people asking me, "What's your problem, man? Why are you getting so tickled just because Emiratis are getting better benefits?" And okay, so I decided in this video I'm going to set the record straight. I'll say it once and for all. So in case any one of you has any misunderstanding, it can be ironed out. Okay? And feel free to put your thoughts in the comments below. In case you're new to the channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I am a personal branding strategist. My specialization is helping people get well-paying jobs, especially in the Middle East and UAE, Dubai, because I was there for 40 years. But now my clientele base has kind of expanded. Some people ask for Canada, USA, Australia, even India for that matter. So yeah, and people book my services for personal and professional consultation, whether marriage, love, whatever. I give them my opinion. It's food for thought. And I have around 6,700 videos. You can check it out, what my opinions are on different matters. Okay, so let's talk about the Emirati people of UAE. Now, I'm not going to go into like a Wikipedia kind of documentary. Okay, I'll just give you my experiences with Emirati. Now, by Emirati, I mean the people in UAE. And I can tell you this. I can tell you one thing for a fact. When you compare Saudi, Kuwaiti, Omani, all these people from different parts of the Middle East, GCC, or as they say, Bahrain, Omani, they're very friendly, very, very friendly, very articulate in terms of English. But in terms of the second place, I would always give it to Emirati. I have, in my 40 years of being there, out of all the Emiratis I've met, I only maybe had just three bad experiences. One could be in an accident where this guy come out, "I'm local," he was shouting. Another one was a temper, this thing. I also was acting like a jackass. So he was like, "I'm local," and and the third one was one of the sponsors that my mother had taken for her business. That guy was really abusing his privileges of being, those days you had to have a Emirati local partner, and he was really abusing it. And I couldn't take it anymore. I had to give it to him on his face. And worst part was he was part of the CID, part of the police. So my mother and stepfather, very scared. I said, "You should be ashamed of yourself. You're a Muslim," and this, and he was asking for bribes and this and that. So anyway, three bad examples in 40 years. But if you ask me, good, the biggest one is my mentor. You can just search on YouTube, Loy Machedo, mentor. The mentor who changed my life, with whom I've had a relationship for 25 years, is an Emirati. The man who changed my life, the man who was like a father figure, who mentored me, who gave me a very different point of view. And mind you, he's a very elegant, amazing, rags to riches human being. Very different. He's like he's like when you say Elon Musk, and you know that Elon Musk is like a human being, but he's different, many notches above. My mentor Murad was an Emirati, nice Emirati, but very good Muslim, very very good Muslim, very good human being, very good everything. Yeah, I do know one or two flaws of his, but then who is perfect, man? And I'll tell you, he's among in my list. If I were to die and I were to chalk out the greatest people whom I owe my life, he would be among the top three, man. Easily, easily. So he's an Emirati. I've had a very close friend who was Emirati, okay, but he was slightly mixed breed, and we used to go out for parties and all that. But eventually we broke off. And then there was another Emirati who was multi-millionaire, whom we were thinking of partnership or I would work under him, but things didn't work out afterwards. And one final guy was kind of slightly distant relative of the sheikh. So I've had all these kinds of Emiratis. Okay. And then just the normal. So, and yes, I forgot to tell you, clients. I've had Emirati clients, men and women, but the majority of them, which might shock you, here's a funny thing. I feel more safe with Emirati men than with Emirati women for obvious reasons, because women, are unpredictable. But this is my preference. But the funny thing is, even though I'm more comfortable with the men and keep a cautious this thing with the women, I've had more clients who are Emirati women, much more clients than Emirati men. Okay. So in 40 years, I've seen most of them. I'm not saying that I lived with the Emiratis, but I've seen their culture. I've been to their house. I've met their families. I've met sheikh, people who are the ministers. My mother used to, those days, you're talking of 70s and 80s, when, you could meet the sheikh family just like that. That time it was a very different ball game altogether. So they were very accessible, the sheikhs. So I have had a very unique set of experience. Today you can't have that same experience. It's a very different country. It's a very different environment altogether. So there have been the good, very little bad, hardly any ugly. And if anyone would ask me what is the most powerful memory you have, it automatically would go to my mentor. It automatically would go to a sense of gratitude. Okay. So now, having this kind of relationship, the people generally ask me, then why are you bashing up the Emiratis? Why are you bashing up UAE? And I find that a little ridiculous. And I'll tell you why. Now, in case you didn't know, I am an Indian passport holder. Okay, I'm an Indian passport holder. Now, when I speak about India, I speak on issues and problems like corruption, rape, political, the twisted narratives, communal violence, religious problems. I highlight those problems. So when I highlight those problems, people are like, why do you hate India so much? Abba, I'm speaking about the problems. No, why don't you praise India? Yeah, when it's supposed to be praised. If, for example, like say that javelin thrower or Shah Rukh Khan came out with a movie, and I personally not a big fan of Shah Rukh Khan's movies. As a brand, I admire him. Rags to riches. Movies, yeah. But I really appreciated that movie that he came. What was that? It was like a Marvel kind of this thing, shooting and all that with Salman Khan. I can't even get the name here. It was shot in Dubai. Primarily, my fascination for the movie was because it was shot in various locations in Dubai. So I really appreciated the movie. So the problem is, by the way, I'm looking at the notes in case you're wondering what am I looking at. See, when I criticize, for example, Pakistan or Islam or America, any problems that are happening there, that affirmative action or the transgender issues, Joe Biden, Zelensky, Modi, cryptocurrency. I speak on fighters like McGregor, Francis Ngannou, or the transgender issue or Andrew Tate. People automatically say, why do you hate them? People, and then when they can't come up with anything worthwhile, they say, why you jealous, man? Why you jealous? My dear, that means every problem that I speak about is I hate the country. So you want me to appreciate rape? You want me to appreciate corruption? Like the time when the Sri Lankan man was lynched by a mob in Pakistan, falsely claiming that he insulted the Prophet. I spoke against that act. I have these Muslim guys who are saying, why do you hate Islam? Why are you so jealous about Pakistan? What do you want me to appreciate that you lynched an innocent man? So I find this pretty retarded, man. It's like if you don't like something, or you don't like an action, or you see something that is horrifically bad and you highlight it, I might hate that action or that act, but that doesn't mean I'm jealous of Joe Biden or jealous of Zelensky or jealous of the country. Wouldn't you do the same if you found out someone got raped? What would you say? Would you say that, oh, you shouldn't criticize the guy rapist? No. So the question comes now, then why are you so bothered? You left UAE 40 years. You're no longer there. That's exactly the reason, because I spent half my life as a baby growing up in that country. I thought that was my country. I lived there as if it was my country. In fact, if you'd meet me until the age of, I think, 35, 36, my entire plans were to live in UAE forever. I thought this was my country until the day when my visa was falsely cancelled, that 2011 video, and I was sent back. And then when I wanted to board the plane after the visa was given by my mentor, the guy, Air India staff, sorry, you can't board. I said, no, but I have been in UAE so many years. Whatever the case, you Indian refugees think, imagine Indian guy telling me, you Indian refugees think just because you stayed in UAE or Gulf, they call it Gulf, so many years, no visa, you don't board the plane. Okay, just stand there. Yeah. And then in Hindi, he started muttering like these kind of beggars and this and that. I didn't want any drama. I just kept quiet. But eventually the phone call came through. I went into the aircraft. And if that was not embarrassing enough, when I landed at the airport, Dubai airport, immigration, just imagine, 40 years of being there, going up and down. The guy asked me, looking at my passport, he is a new youngster, what's the purpose of your visit? Just imagine. He's asking what's the purpose of my visit. So, because he was new, he was a student. So I said, I've lived in this wonderful country for 40 years. I consider this my country. I consider this my brothers and sisters here. Oh, Fadal, welcome. So he understood. So the point I'm trying to tell you is, I have so many emotions, so many feelings, so many memories. And I really, truly, whether you believe me or not, I love Dubai. I love the UAE. I genuinely want UAE to succeed. If UAE becomes number one in the world, my heart will be so happy. Because the country has not done me any harm. It gave my family, it gave my friends, some of them 3 generations. Can you imagine 3 generations? Like 60 years, maybe 180 years. They've been there, man. So that's the reason I speak about it. Because, like, being an Indian passport holder, I talk about India. Because that closeness is there. That's why I may not talk about Scandinavia, or I may not talk about Russia or Uganda or Niger or Nigeria, or like I've nothing got to do with those countries. And my target audience is very interested and keen to know because I give a very unique perspective. Okay. So now the final part of my video comes down to, so what is it that I exactly think about Emiratis? What is my unfiltered opinion? Through the years that I've been with them and interacted, Emiratis, the real Emiratis, are not the wannabe Emiratis or the ones. The real Emiratis are very hospitable people, very, very kind. That is why you'll see sometimes Sheikh Mohammed, when he sees some foreigners, they're stuck in the desert, they will offer them tea, the Arabic tea, they'll offer them dates. They're very hospitable people and they're very hardworking. This was always the case, but with technology, with time, with modernization, they've changed. Today's newer generation of Emiratis, they get to see social media, they get to go to the West, their parents want them to study. So there is potpourri of an overlapping of Western values. That is why so many Emiratis now who speak to me, some are gay, some they want to not continue their religion, some they want to get out of UAE. Seriously, huh? I'm not joking, exaggerating. Some they find the UAE, their own community, they find them outdated, old-fashioned. So there is I wouldn't call it renaissance, but there is an impact that the Western media or the social media has on the youth. But traditionally, Emiratis, they're very hospitable, they're very kind, but they're very conservative. They're very religious. Religion is very important. Their culture, their tradition, um, um, their history, all that really matters to them. That is why even when I made friends, I told you, with the sheikhs, his son, and not sheikh actually, they are far relative, but they consider sheikh family. So the father literally came and told me that those days I used to do shows, DJs. I don't want you to introduce my son to girls, women, cigarette, and alcohol. He told me on my face. He was a very powerful guy. I said, no, I don't do that. So, and I told him honestly, with girls, your son is not interested and I don't bring any. So he said, okay, fine. And they're the old timers, they are very hardworking. But what has happened is over the period of time, Dubai, in order to tackle the changes that are happening and to earn the loyalty of the UAE people, they started offering them ridiculous salary increases, bonuses, benefits. Like when my mentor was working for the Dubai police, his salary was, I'm just giving, I don't know the exact amount, it was at this level. I remember he casually talking about it was at this level. After he left, within 5 or 10 years, the salary from here just tripled. Like it was double, it was 100% increase, then 100%. So they have really undergone a massive transformation. That is why if you see Dubai in the 1970s, you see any old photograph, especially near where Burj Khalifa is there, you see 40, 50 years ago, the photograph, or even 20 years ago, not 20, 30 years ago, and you see now, you can't believe it. There's so much of change. So they have increased the salaries, they have increased the benefits, they have increased the perks. But because of all this easy money, and obviously, right from day one, Emiratis, being the citizens of the country, they were always favored over expatriates or any foreigner. So they were given a lot of privileges, a lot of power. Like if you wanted to start a company, if you had 1 million, for example, it was mandatory those days. I'm talking of 1970s and 80s. You had to get a local Emirati and citizen to work with you as a partner. And here's the funny thing. You put 1 million, he doesn't put anything. He just have to go get the visas and everything stamped and all. But you have to sign your company and all the money and everything at 51% to him. By default. No argument there. And you'll be lucky if this guy is not greedy or anything. So just imagine, you put 1 million, it's your company, your idea, everything, but you get a partner and you have to sign 51% to him. And then he's the owner, 51%. If he goes to court after the signature, he can claim that 51%. In fact, he can throw you out. So it was always like that. Now things are changed. Now they have free zones, and they've Dubai, I think, has scrapped this law. Okay. So they enjoy certain privileges. But the problem is, just like the Pareto principle, 80% they hardly work, 20% are the ones who work, or 80% are not so rich, 20% are the ones controlling the maximum wealth. In the same way, even in UAE, where Emiratis are concerned, the majority are just normal guys, nothing outstanding, but they're not very ambitious. They would love easy money. They would love free. Even in India, for that matter, how many are the creme de la creme who have risen to the top? Maybe 1%, say 1 to 10%. The creme de la creme, the educated, the classy ones. The rest, everyone is a bloody headache. Yeah. In the same way, every country, the same statistic works the same with UAE. So even in UAE, the ones who really are ambitious, who want to achieve greatness, who want to rise to the top, who will be obsessed about working, those are the 1 to 10%. The 90 just want to finish work and go home, just like you and any other normal person, work and go home within that fixed time. And many of them also take advantage of the system. They prefer 5 days a week. If they are supposed to come 8 hours, they'll just come 2-3 hours. They'll sit on their phone, they'll chat on their phone, they'll not care a damn. And if you are an expatriate who is employing them, you don't have any authority over them. And many of them abuse power. See, anybody, if you have 2 children, one child you give him a very tough life and tell him to earn his stripes. The other one you pamper and give easy money and easy everything. Wouldn't this child be someone of leadership and character, and this one will be a spoiled brat? That is exactly what is happening with the Emiratis also. So overall, what I want to tell you is, you can assume whatever you like. That's not my problem. And I can't go around convincing everyone. You can believe whatever you want. Okay, like some people believe I'm the shaitan, I'm the antichrist. Shaitan is the devil, the antichrist. That's why I have these markings of the devil and all that. I can't change that. That's what you believe. I mean, what am I going to do? Like some people, when I walk with my daughter, some people, they actually walk up to me and then they tell my wife, oh, I thought this guy was part of the mafia. I thought he was an evil guy and all that. Now he's with their baby girl and you're a family. You're so nice people. And we are shocked to know you don't smoke, you don't drink, you don't show off. You're good people. So I can't go around convincing each other. So believe whatever you like. Okay. But I would say that you have to respect them because it's their country. And with that respect, you need to have a level of fear, because don't try to get into their bad books. If you do, the law will favor them. And never ever, if you're a man, never get involved with a Arab lady or especially Emirati lady. You are dancing with the devil. I'm not saying that they are bad, but the law favors them. And I would say that don't have prejudice and hatred against them. You're far more lucky to be surrounded by Emirati, UAE locals rather than Saudi or Kuwait and Bahrain. And this is not a hate on them, but their laws are so extreme. And I have seen and heard and experienced a very different mindset from them. Like, whichever country, the culture, the education, if you are told that you're the superior race and these are inferiors, like for example, in Saudi, Islam is the do-all, end-all. Saudi people are superior and Indians are all lower level, like donkeys, like Kuwaiti. They call Indians, you donkey, you dog, you animal. So it's. I'm not saying all of them do that, but it all comes down to your education, your upbringing. Even in India, for that matter. Why do we have to go very far? Just see how the Indians behave towards themselves. Like in my group, they were showing this foreigner, one female. She's posing there. All the Indians came running, and Ramu, Shamu, Gopu, Popu, Muhammad Iqbal, all that. Photo, photo, photo. She's just a normal, average Western female. These guys are, and because she was surrounded by 2, 3 big guys, they didn't act funny with her. Because for them, hey, girl, hey, Bob's vagin, hey. Yeah, they salivate because they've never seen a female. So that's what it is. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. And I'll tell you one thing. I will always wish them the best. I have a couple of Emiratis who are still in touch with me. And they're wonderful people. Okay? I have had good experiences. I don't know about you. And yes, as being a person who is online, I will always share my opinion. When I feel something is wrong, I will say it's wrong. Like I call a spade a spade. And, I know there'll be people, oh, Loy, you got afraid. That's why you're praising them. Oh, how much did they pay you to praise them? There are people like that. If I talk good, that's what they'll say. And if I talk bad, they'll say, why are you jealous? You're a hater. Oh, who paid you to talk anti this thing? So, you think what you want. This is what I wanted to share with you. Let it translate however you like. And feel free to comment down below. Good, bad, ugly, let me know your thoughts. It's me signing off. You guys take care. And yeah, remember, don't hate them. They're not your enemy. It's their country. You're the guest. Respect them. Respect their culture. Respect their laws. And if you're smart, that's how you'll succeed. All right? Ciao.